friends! You guys know how much I love creating things, so I thought today it would be super fun to draw something together. I will use my tablet to draw Eggy and explain how I do things so you can follow along. Don't worry, you can use paper, pencils, markers, or even paint. I will explain the differences so anyone can join. Now, let's get started. First, we will draw a sketch. We start by drawing a circle. Feel free to try as many times as it takes to have a nice, even, round circle. When sketching, the lines can be messy, but the overall shape of the circle should be clear. For digital art, I will simply use a pink pencil brush on a new layer separate from the background layer. If you're drawing on paper, pick a simple gray pencil and draw very lightly, so it will be easy to erase with an eraser. Next, we'll give the circle a little hat, so the circle becomes egg-shaped. We know Eggy has cute little legs, so we'll draw those next. Don't forget, you can always look at a reference image of the character you're drawing. All artists use references, sometimes hundreds of images, when looking for inspiration and making sure they are getting certain shapes right. I mark where the legs come out and draw Eggy's cute little shoes. Now I can connect the shoes to the main egg shape and erase the guidelines. From time to time, I want to zoom out and look at the picture as a whole so I can see everything more clearly. Like here, for example, I like how the legs look, but they are too thin, so I will select them and stretch them to how I want them to look. If you're using a pencil, always remember to draw lightly so you can erase and redraw things where you want them. Next, let's give the shoes and socks some details. Awesome! We gave Eggy nice leggies to stand on, so let's continue with the details on his shell. We'll draw the crack at the bottom of his shell. Don't forget, it continues behind the legs too. Finally, let's erase the unnecessary lines. And we have a finished Eggy. But I thought it would be very cool to imagine Eggy in the future. Let's say the shell cracked even more and revealed Eggy's eyes inside. That's what's great about drawing. You can make anything you can imagine. Okay, let's draw where we think the eyes would be. Now, Eggy needs pupils to see us. And irises so we can choose a cool eye color. Of course, no eyes are complete without shiny highlights that give life to the character. Finally, Eggy needs some cute eyelashes. Wonderful! Now let's draw the shape of the crack around the eyes. When Eggy hatched, though not fully, some extra cracks stayed on the shell, so let's add those. They give some more detail to Eggy, making the drawing feel more finished. And voila! We finished the sketch! Great work! The next big step is drawing line art. In digital art, we create a new layer so we can draw over the sketch. In traditional art, you should pick a marker or an ink pen to draw over the pencil drawing. I also lower the opacity of the sketch so I can see the new layer better. This is why in traditional art, you draw the sketch very lightly. Now comes the difficult part. We draw slowly and carefully, tracing the sketch we made. It might take a few tries to get it right, but it's worth the effort. Alright, looks like we completed the shell, and we can turn the sketch layer off and on to check how it looks all by itself. If we're happy, let's continue. Okay, the shell details are done. Let's move on to the socks. Then I want to trace the shoes with black, so I change the color and keep tracing. Amazing! Let's trace the eyes next. I make another layer and choose black again. I want to darken the lash line at the top and then draw cute little lashes. After tracing the pupil, I copy the eye, flip it, and put it where the other eye should go. Of course, in traditional art, you will need to trace both eyes, but more practice makes you better and better at drawing, so don't worry. Next, we can draw the irises. I make a layer underneath the pupils to do that. I think I will make Eggy have two different eye colors, because that's super cool. Maybe when Eggy hatches, they will be like that too. I turn off the sketch layer because we traced all the necessary lines, so we can move on to coloring. I fill the pupils with black and color the irises blue and green. Then I want to make the eye shiny, so I draw white circles here and then lower the opacity of the layer so they are a little bit see-through. With traditional art, you can achieve a similar effect using white-colored pencil or watered-down white paints. Then we need even more shine, so I draw white highlights on top of the pupils. Look how lively Eggy looks now! After that, we just need to fill in the eye whites and the eyes are done! I make a new layer underneath all the line art layers and pick a color for the shell. Now carefully color inside the lines and don't paint over your line art. Also, Eggy has little colorful spots all over their shell. You will see that later in the video. So if you're drawing traditionally, you should draw and color the spots first, only then fill in the entire shell with purple. But because I can use layers with a tablet, I will color the entire shell first. Next, I pick the same dark purple as the line art and fill in the cracks. Then on a new layer, I will fill in the entire eye crack with a dark, almost black color. Same with the hole at the bottom. Next, I fill the dark sock stripes and then the light ones. I color the laces with pink and then use gray for the eyelids and the shoe soles. I use very dark gray for the shoes themselves. Finally, I use the same trick I did with the eyes to make the shoe tips shiny. Cool! Now Eggy is completely colored. All that's missing is the colorful spots on his shell. On a new layer, I pick some cute colors and draw spots all over Eggy. Lastly, I draw a white blob on top of the shell for some shine. And that's it! Finally, Eggy is completely drawn and colored. You can add any background you want, show off your creativity. I will just quickly add some grass, clouds, and hearts. Yay! Finished! We all learned how to draw Eggy together. Great work! Like and subscribe if you like drawing with me. Also, if you want to send an Eggy drawing for us to see, here's how you do it. Take a photo, then use your email or ask your parents to email it for you. Attach the photo and send it to Fluvsies@tutotunes.com. You can even write us a message. We read and see all of them. But some drawings even end up on Midnight's show, which happens every last Sunday of the month. Okay, it's been fun drawing with you. See you next time!